There we go. Alrighty. So welcome back to our podcast, the Staple and Maas podcast. We've got Stephen Stapleton here. That's him. And we've got Michael Maas, which is me, on the other end. So Stephen, between 2010 and 20, we've had a big decade, I reckon.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Of things have happened,
Yeah.
and especially TV has like captured everyone's imaginations with Netflix and Stan coming out, and they might have been out in the early 2000s, or late 2000s. But 2010 they definitely skyrocketed through the internet. With all the streaming services that we've got, Amazon Prime, and now we've got Disney channel.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus, that's the one. But what would you say your favourite top 3 TV shows of all time? Well, in that decade, decade. What would they be?
Number 1 would have to be Breaking Bad. I know it's a controversial, not really controversial, but I know it's one that people really like, and I really enjoy it mainly because of the editing. The editing's amazing in it. The camera work is like you couldn't get any better for a DOP or a camera guy.
You should give a wink to that camera.
And Vince Gilligan, the showrunner, he's an amazing guy. And basically, yeah, everyone acted really well, and seeing the transformation of a family man, who's just this normal science teacher, into a drug kingpin, by season 6, I think it was season 5. Sorry, was absolutely amazing, guys.
What would be your second one? Your favorite second?
A second one would have to be Game of Thrones. One of the best fantasy shows ever made, and George R.R. Martin, one of the best authors ever of a book series. He really brought the world to life in his books, and I think Dan and Dave achieved that until season 7 and 8, which were utter dog shit. It's obvious they were just after the money by that point, but yeah.
Yeah, I heard that they actually got rid of him directing the Game of Thrones as well, and that's where it all went downhill. So he thought he just may as well muck them up because they had no other option. But he stopped writing books until the season came out, and he would write something different just to fuck them up. But actually, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, what happened is he wrote a prequel book instead of continuing the books. So basically, the showrunners had nothing to go on, so they had to make up their own cheese story. Yeah,
so that's where they kind of mucked up the series there. They shouldn't have got rid of him as a director. That was a bad mistake. I never watched it, but I watched the first 2 episodes of it, and it wasn't my type of thing to be watching or listening to. Yeah. Yeah, and what would be your third favourite TV show?
The third favorite TV show would probably have to be Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot is just a really good show. And basically it's about this guy trying to take down E Corp. It's basically, people call it Evil Corp. It's basically an organization that runs the whole world, and it's basically like society coming back and destroying government institutions and shit. And yeah, it basically shows how much hackers can change the world, really. And you can basically get $0 from your job from a hacker, because it's all online and internet based the way we do stuff now. It's a really scary thought when I was watching it. So yeah, and Rami Malek, he does an amazing job portraying this nerdy, awkward guy who's a hacker. And the more and more you watch it, you actually see he has some things wrong with him, but I don't really want to get into details there.
That sounds quite interesting. I haven't watched any of them. I don't have any of the platforms to watch it, but no, they sound pretty good from what I've heard from Stephen and a few other people. Yeah, so I'll go on to mine now.
Okay.
Yeah, my top 3 this would be. So number 3 would definitely have to be I took some notes down before. That's right, Animal Kingdom. It was based off the Australian
hit movie.
Yeah, movie that was made back in the early 2000s, I think it was. I can't fully remember when it was made. That was a very, very good, well done film made by an Australian. And yeah, like all Australian cast members, everything was Australian in it, and then the Americans took it, the idea, and made it into a TV series. Yeah, and then that was a very good TV series. They continued on with American actors in it, and with American type of style to it, but they performed it well. I reckon. Next one would have to be I'd have to say, let me have a look. 13 Reasons Why. They kind of mucked it up with the 3rd season, I think it was, they made.
Yeah, it was the 3rd season.
Yeah, it started off really well, and then it kind of went downhill from there. Luckily, they're going to make one more season. That's hopefully it by Netflix Originals, because they should have finished it back in season 2 when they had the court case, and even that was a bit too overboard. Wherever it was, they should have just left it with the season 1 and kept everyone wondering what was going to happen next. But I reckon that was a really well acted through all the characters that were used. Good story concept it was. 13 Reasons Why Hannah Brown Killed Herself.
Sorry.
Yeah. No,
It's just funny the way you worded it.
yeah. No. Well, it's not a good thing that she killed herself or anything like that, but like the story, like 13 Reasons Why She Killed Herself, she only had 12 good reasons why not to kill herself, and yeah, unfortunately, the one other bad reason just took over, which is a little bit unfortunate for Hannah Brown and the family, but you know,
Like I said, it happens. It
happened.
It's a good message.
All due to a school teacher not helping her out, not listening to her and all that. And growing up, I felt people didn't listen to me as much as I did when I was older. So in a way, I kind of
Do you mean younger?
Yeah, when you're a younger kid and all that, you feel as though no one listens to you. But when you're an older person, people tend to listen to you a bit more. Otherwise, you can actually see, when you're going through high school now, you can actually see the story concept of why people would do this type of stuff these days due to social media causing bullying and rumors. Just a few rumors can ruin someone's life virtually. A lot of things can affect a lot of people with what happened through it all. That's what it can affect people. No, just all the amount of shit that goes around these days, and like people got something wrong with them. Like there's so many conditions that people got with their brains and all these days. It's just unbelievable. Like back in the early years when our parents were born and all that, they had none of this bullshit that was made up by researchers and all that. Like this person's got this wrong with them. Like so it's all fucking bullshit. These days, parents, obviously, some younger parents and older parents might have done drugs back in the day, and it's affected the kids in a way where there might be something wrong with them, mentally wrong or physically wrong, and that's kind of affected them, which it shouldn't really happen, but it does happen, unfortunately, for the kids, which causes other kids who are normal or whatever to bully other kids that have something wrong with them or anyway, anyone can get bullied really, but it does affect some people, some don't. Some people just ignored it. And sometimes people just can't handle life. Like some people just need to grow the fuck up, to be honest with you. No, I'm actually being serious here. People just need to grow the fuck up and like put up with your fucking life. Don't let other people get involved with your life.
Yeah, try to always improve on yourself.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to talk to people if you're getting bullied or if you have something. Just talk to people and there's always help out there, especially in the Western worlds. Like, America, Australia, always got something to guide them through life. There's counselling companies out there, there's helplines out there to help out people. I've been talking for a long time. Some people just need to grow the fuck up, and some people do need the help, so there are services out there to help you out. If you ever feel that you're down or whatever, give someone a call or talk to an adult or whatever.
What services? What services?
Like the helpline, kids helpline. If you're into porn or whatever, or prostitutes, like, go for it. Like, there's services out there as well, 24/7 services. Anyway, you crack it up there, aren't you? And my top one would have to be Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes, that show is pretty good.
Yeah, that's the most funniest show I've ever seen. 20 minutes it goes for each episode, but so you get some great moments that happen in that TV show. Especially I Want It That Way, that when they start singing and Jake Crawford goes, number one, can you sing? Anyway, he sings like the first line of I Want It That Way, and then they keep on singing it, and then they all sing it all together, and then the girl turns around and goes, oh, that's the person that killed my brother, and he goes, oh, I forgot all about that bit. It's a funny show, like, and you've got people who don't concentrate, have a short concentration span solving out crimes, which is absolutely hilarious. Taking the piss out of the police, which is, it's quite funny, I reckon.
Yeah, pretty good concept there.
And we'll go quickly. Sorry to stop this TV thing out happening, but I reckon we should go on to the next bit where the top
What was your three?
The news moments. Mine would have to be number one would be the cruise ship toddler incident that happened last year in 2019, where a grandfather put his toddler grandchild onto a railing and the kid dropped off, and blamed there was an open window. It's absolutely bullshit, to be honest with you, because I've been on that cruise ship that the kid fell on, and the windows are up to the regulations of where they should be, and he shouldn't have put the fucking child on the railings, because that's what they're used for. Railings were to stop people from going overboard, not going overboard. Like, you have to be drunk, like, to fall overboard or do something stupid, unless you want to end your life or whatever. And that's the only reason why you go overboard on a cruise ship. Otherwise, they're up to regulations of the international standards, and there's no way you can possibly fall overboard or have the child. And the windows, you can easily tell, because the windows that are open have no tinted windows on them, but the ones that are closed have tinted windows. So if he couldn't tell between a tinted window and a not a tinted window, there's something really wrong with him. And you never hold your child above the railing on a cruise ship. Doesn't matter if it's on a balcony or if it's like anywhere on a cruise ship. Like, that's what they're for. Like, is to stop people from falling overboard.
You must have had some mental issues or something.
Oh, I don't think mental issues. I think it was colourblind. Apparently, one of the reasons was. The next one would have to be MH17. That was a big one.
Shocked the world.
It did shock the world.
Yes.
That's a whole new podcast that we can make of conspiracy theories that have been made about it, of aliens attacks, just missing from nowhere, the pilot causing the crash, and all sorts of. But we'll get on that to another podcast a little bit later on. And my other one would have to be the bushfires in New South Wales, 2019. They're still going on till now in 2020. And the Queensland floods. People.
Isn't that 4?
Huh?
That's 4.
The Queen.
Isn't it?
Oh, well, the natural disasters. So I'll count them as.
Alright. Count it as 1.
Yeah, count it as 1. We can do another podcast on bushfires throughout Australia have happened in 2009 and 2019 and 20. And also the Queensland floods back in 2010 and 11 wiped out most of Queensland with the floods, and New South Wales bushfires happening right now have destroyed. There's a fire actually going at the moment that is the size of Manhattan in New York. So that's quite a big fire happening. That's the main island in New York City, where the Twin Towers were. The Empire State, I'm pretty sure it's there. The Central Park City is in that, and pretty much the whole island that is on is literally on fire in Australia. Over 4 million hectares, I think, has been burnt.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Yeah, and 800 million animals have been lost, and over 1,000 homes have been lost, and 27 lives have been lost in these bushfires happening at the moment. But we can leave natural disasters happening here in Australia for another time as well. So, Steve, what was your top 3 moments?
Okay, so number 1 would have to be the porn moment on in the news. in the news. Basically, what happened was this chick, she was saying the news from the teleprompter, the normal news day, and then basically a worker in the background thought the bulletin was done, so he decided to have a picture of a let's just say a naked woman on the desktop. It was about 10 seconds. What was it? Was it less than that?
Yeah.
It might have been less than that, but basically, he said that. He put it on the computer, and literally the chick, I call it the one in the studio.
Journalist. Yeah.
The journalist in the studio. She literally looks behind for like a second, and then you just see all workers scrambling to close the computers. It was a fucking hilarious moment. All right.
What would be the next one?
My next one would probably have to be the gold and the blue dress, I think.
Oh, yeah.
The gold and the blue dress. That was very controversial, but honestly, after thinking about it, a guy probably just went into Photoshop and just color graded the dress, 2 dresses to get instantly popular on social media, and I think that was a pretty good strategy. And the last one will have to be the audio one from 2018. The audio one from 2018 when they talk about Laurie and
Laurel, I think it was.
Laurie and Laurel. Basically, they had this audio file that people were saying, "Oh, is it Laurel? Is it Laurie?" But basically, what happened was same kind of situation. I think a few people just decided to edit the audio file and get trending on the news. It's a pretty good strategy, and I think more people should be doing it to get onto the news.
Yeah, I reckon it's Geek Squad did that a few years back. They decided to surf during floods in California, and that became people were calling them idiots and all that over the news, and they got a whole heap of views for it and subscribers just from that stunt of surfing in flood waters. Yeah.
What idiots.
And yeah, they've done quite a few.
Just for views.
Yeah, just for the views. Yeah.
Just for views. Oh.
No, I reckon they were good YouTubers back then, but now they've gone a bit downhill in their view.
In their content.
Their content
What's not worse, is it?
But anyway, yeah. So I think that's the end for our segment 3.
All right, yeah. Segment 3, guys.
We'll be back soon with segment 4, the last one for our first ever podcast.
All right, don't forget to like, subscribe, and
to ring the doorbell, otherwise known as the bell, on YouTube to get more notifications from us.
All right, I'm Steve, and this is
Michael.
This is Michael.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you guys for the next one.
Catch ya.